All right, so buckle up because today we are taking a deep dive into We Service All by Donald Firesmith. Loneliness, desire, healing, just your typical Tuesday, right?
Right, typical Tuesday. Except Firesmith takes these classic sci-fi elements, think spaceports, alien encounters, the works, and somehow he makes them hit really close to home.
Yeah, exactly. See, we meet this guy, Jack. He's a space trader, spends his days hauling cargo across the galaxy, but underneath it all, he is carrying some serious baggage grief. He's lost his wife, and you just get this sense that the vastness of space, well, it just amplifies that loneliness.
And that's what's so brilliant about Firesmith's writing. He taps into something that resonates even outside of fiction. You see it with astronauts all the time. The isolation, the confinement, it takes a toll. It's that feeling of being completely detached from everything familiar. Powerful stuff.
Powerful is an understatement. Anyway, Jack lands on this planet, Martode. Not exactly a top vacation spot, let me tell you. He ends up looking for, let's just say, companionship, the way, well, a lot of spacers do in those far-off ports.
It's almost like Firesmith uses those classic sci-fi tropes to lull us into this false sense of security, right? Like, oh, we're in familiar territory, alien dancers, seedy bars, and then bam, he pulls the rug out from under us, takes the story in this totally unexpected direction.
100%. So Jack walks into this, establishment, sees these alien dancers, your typical Tuesday in space. But then he meets the Deltanoid who runs the place, and she just drops this line, "We service all." Talk about a mission statement.
It's a bold claim, to say the least.
Yeah.
Especially in that setting. It makes you wonder about the boundaries. What does service even mean in this world?
Yeah.
Firesmith really makes you think.
Oh, trust me, we are about to find out. Picture this. A Danubian dancer, don't even ask me to describe it, starts to transform, like right before Jack's eyes. I'm talking shape-shifting, melting, becoming this vision of like perfect human beauty. It's mind-blowing.
And a little creepy, right?
The shape-shifting thing in sci-fi, it always goes deeper than the physical transformation. Firesmith knows that. He's using it to make us think about identity, desire, and like the ethics of using those abilities for someone else's pleasure. Can you even manufacture genuine connection? True happiness. Can technology really do that? It's a question that's haunted humanity for centuries.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it, what people would even want if they could have anything. Does it even count at that point? And what about consent? We've got this Blavaxian shapeshifter. Is she choosing this? Or is it exploitation, even if she's being paid? Firesmith doesn't shy away from the tough questions. He lays it all out there.
And just when you think you know where he's taking us, bam, another curveball.
Yeah.
At first, Jack's totally captivated. Who wouldn't be? But then it's like the switch flips. He's repulsed, reminded that there's this alien reality just beneath the surface.
Like the perfection of it all, the transformation, it shatters the illusion. He can't ignore his grief anymore, the longing for something real.
He just completely breaks down, clutching a picture of his dead wife, Sarah. And I'm thinking, okay, this is where he sends the poor Blavaxian running. But you know Firesmith. Never want to disappoint. What happens next is, well, unexpected, to say the least.
This is where the story goes from, like, transactional to transformative.
Mm.
And I mean that in every sense of the word. Instead of changing her physical form, the Blavaxian, she goes deeper into his mind, his memories.
She becomes Sarah, not just physically, but emotionally, tapping into his deepest feelings about his wife. And this isn't some parlor trick, She actually starts to heal him, using her abilities to mend his heartbreak.
Okay, now we're getting into some ethically murky territory. Is this healing or manipulation? Can you even separate the two? I mean, I have my own thoughts, but Firesmith, he's not giving us any easy answers.
He is not. And that is what makes this story so compelling. But I don't know, it still feels dangerous, right? Even with the best intentions, messing with someone's mind. Talk about a slippery slope.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the brilliance of We Service All. Firesmith doesn't just tell us a story. He forces us to confront these possibilities, these ethical dilemmas, head on. He makes us feel the emotional weight of these decisions.
It's like he's saying, here's this glimpse of what might be possible.
But I'm leaving you to figure out if it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Makes you think about what makes us right. Like, you take away the pain of the past, what's left? Do you lose part of who you are in the process?
Whoa, right. And this Blavaxian, she's trying to help, sure, driven by this whole oath to heal, but there's this, coldness to it, this detachment. It's almost chilling when you really think about it.
And that brings us back to the title, doesn't it? We Service All. At first glance, it's just a slogan, a catchy line for a brothel. But Firesmith, he's got layers, right? He makes those words, service, healing, suddenly they feel, well, Kind of creepy.
Totally. I mean, it's this incredible capacity for empathy, but it's so mechanical. Can you even call it a genuine connection if it's basically engineered?
It's a question that reaches way beyond this story, don't you think? Think about it. AI, virtual reality, that line between what's real and what's simulated keeps getting blurrier.
It's true. Science fiction isn't just spaceships and aliens anymore. I mean, sometimes it is exactly that, but Firesmith is holding up this mirror, right, to our anxieties about the future. What happens when we can't tell the difference between the real thing and a perfect copy?
And we serve us all. It just nails that feeling, doesn't it? Forces you to confront those possibilities head on, the ethical mess, the emotional fallout, everything.
Speaking of fallout, that ending, just wow. After this intense, intimate moment of healing, she's gone. Poof, vanishes.
Back into the night. Like it was nothing. It's eerie, but kind of beautiful at the same time, don't you think?
It's totally Firesmith style, isn't it? Like he's saying, here's this glimpse, this possibility, but I'm leaving you to figure out the rest.
Which is what great science fiction should do. Not easy answers, it's about asking the really big questions, the ones that stick with you.
No doubt about that. But I gotta say, this one question keeps rattling around in my brain. What if you could erase your biggest regrets? Rewrite those memories, the painful ones, gone.
Powerful thought. To be free from the weight of the past, just like that.
But would you even be you anymore? Would you trade your memories, even the bad ones, for a blank slate? Is that really living?
It makes you think about what healing even means, doesn't it? Erasing the bad stuff or learning to live with it, and who gets to make that call?
Right. It's like those scars, those memories, they're part of what makes us who we are, you know?
And that's the real question Firesmith leaves us with, isn't it? What would you choose if you could rewrite your story? Would you erase the pain, even if it meant losing part of yourself?
It's a tough one. Part of me thinks, yeah, sign me up, free me from all that baggage. But then you take a step back, you know, and you think, is it even our place to make that decision for someone else? Even with the best intentions.
That's the tightrope walk this whole story's doing. This Blue Voxian, she's trying to help, sure, but it's on her terms, right? Not on Jack's. And that's the real question, isn't it? Even when we're talking about healing, who gets to decide what that even looks like?
Right. And is it really healing if someone else is like staging the whole thing? What if you want those memories back later? It's like we're so quick to say we want to forget our pain, but what if forgetting is actually the opposite of what we need?
And that's what Firesmith's getting at with We Serve Us All.
Yeah.
He takes us on this wild ride, space travel, alien encounters, shape-shifting, you name it.
Yeah.
But at its core, it's really about something much deeper, isn't it? What really matters? What are we willing to give up? Who are we willing to become for comfort, for connection, for a version of ourselves that might not even be real?
And that's the thing. He doesn't give us the answers. He just throws this grenade of a story at us.
Yeah.
And says, you know, figure it out.
Have fun with that.
Exactly. But hey, that's what makes it such a great conversation starter. And isn't that what we're all about here?
Couldn't have said it better myself. It makes you think. Pushes those boundaries. That's what good science fiction should do.
So here's the takeaway, right? Next time you're wishing you could just hit delete on a bad memory, take a second. Ask yourself, what's this memory teaching me? Because maybe, just maybe, those scars, those moments we want to forget, those are the things that make us interesting, make us resilient, make us us. Maybe real healing isn't about erasing those parts of ourselves, you know? It's about learning to live with them, learning from them, and coming out stronger on the other side.
Powerful stuff. Who knows? Maybe that's the kind of deep dive We Serve Us All was meant to inspire.
Well said. As always, thanks for taking this deep dive with us. Until next time, keep exploring those big questions. And remember, sometimes the most uncomfortable truths lead to the most incredible discoveries.